look, we believe that if we could create a great place, people would come. And we believe, for example, with that TECO tower, which was a very important part of the business plan, that we didn't know TECO was going to take it, but we ultimately thought if we can create this great place, it'll be a very unique opportunity to add another office building, right? And for all the reasons I said before about just Tampa not having kind of great urban walkable office with amenities. So we had to, there it is.
Look at
There's
that
the
thing.
new TECO tower.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Super prominent.
Strikingly tall, and prominent for that location.
So we spent about probably 18 months getting just the height of that building approved. And that was probably the biggest constraint to the development. We got it rezoned, that individual site. And then because we're close to the airport, we had to get the approval to do a 300-foot building. And the tallest building in that area was probably 200, a corporate center maybe. I think they're 230, 240 feet.
On Kennedy, right?
On Boy Scout.
On Boy Scout.
The smaller office building we have, the West Tower, was about 210 feet.
That didn't need approval for the height?
It did need approval, but it was within the kind of what was similarly approved,
Sure.
right? And so this building we needed to get 300 feet to do 440,000 feet. So that required a very detailed process with not only the local airport, but the FAA.
Did you have TECO inked when you went to?
We had TECO waiting to sign. And that one took a couple years off of my life because TECO was going to their final board meeting to get the final approval. And we were still waiting for this 300-foot approval. And literally, I think it was in 48 hours of when we got the approval, TECO was going for the final, green light from their board of directors. So we just got this in time. Really, we just got it in time. Yeah.
Damn. And so, when you're asking,
it's like PTSD, that one.
Yeah,
I still remember
sorry
it
to bring it up.
Yeah.
But I mean, that must hold some weight, right? When did you use TECO as like ladies and gentlemen, TECO?
No, it did. It wasn't as much the local airport authority like Joe Lampana was. It was really the FAA. So when you're dealing with Washington, they don't care about TECO.
Right.
You're dealing with this massive bureaucracy, and it was Oklahoma City. They had people in Oklahoma City and Washington and Florida. So
they don't even know the site. Probably.
They don't really know the site. It's like kind of GPS coordinates for them, right? And so they're running. We got the U.S.'s foremost airport radar interference expert out of Oklahoma City to kind of put together a whole analysis of why this building wouldn't interfere with the safety of the radar for planes landing in downtown, in the airport. And, it's a very difficult process to go through, when you're kind of have a great tenant, something that should happen, and you're dealing with, the federal government who kind of holds your future in their hands. So
we're kind of, we're talking about risk assessment and bet making. Like that's kind of what real estate development is, right? And your philosophy was if you build it, they will come. Isn't this height limit approval also kind of a bet? I mean, you're paying these experts, you're paying attorneys, you're probably spending a lot of money to try to get this done without really a guarantee that you can get it done at all.
Yes. We were right on the edge. Look, these projects, you're not going to build these projects unless there's times in all these projects. We have 4 or 5 of them in this project where you're right on the edge, where the success or failure of your project is really in the balance, and you have to get something done. And you have to have the vision married with the belief and just the raw, we're not going to fail on this, right? And so TECO believed in us. We made a commitment to them. We were going to figure out how to get this done. That's what our job is as real estate developers. And, I personally got very involved with this process. I know more about radar vectoring than I ever thought I would know. And the local airport was great and supportive of it, but it was really the FAA's final call to decide, is this building going to interfere with radar and the landing of planes in Tampa? And so, as I said, we got the approval mere hours before this board meeting, and we had a nice celebration, and then we were on to the next challenge.
Hey guys, if you want to watch the full episode of this clip, click right here. Make sure to subscribe by clicking right here. Thank you for watching.